Are you so glad I made you dress up?
I am more than thrilled.
I love a theme.
The best part, I know you do, and I have to say, this is one more time that it's just showing how much I must love you, because this violates all my rules.
To be fair,
is only November.
It is as of recording this.
Yes.
Actually, by the time we release this, it'll still be November, but it'll be like the last day of November, so it doesn't count. That's basically
channel damage. Go ahead.
So welcome back to the Can You Say That podcast conversations I have with my mom. I'm Ambria. I'm remembering to introduce myself this time.
I'm still her mom.
And you're still the mom. Before we get too started, because we got a good one today. I'm so excited for this episode. I've been ready for this episode for like weeks. But before we get too started, go ahead and become part of the Pink Chair Mafia. Ooh, almost lost my cards. Go ahead and become part of the Pink Chair Mafia by liking, subscribing, commenting, and sending this to your friends and family. This one to your family in particular. Let's see how many debates we can start for Christmas Eve.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Pick a fight with your family.
So this one, I'm so excited for this. So you will notice we have cards. There's many of them.
This is not normal.
This is not normal. Normally we just kind of vibe it. But the reason we have cards, why do we have cards?
So you wanted it to be a completely impromptu response.
Yes.
So, but on what?
On what? Holiday hot takes.
I'm not so quite sure why she's so excited for this, but she's so excited for it, and I'm not even allowed to know what her topics are.
Yes.
And then I had to come up with my own topics.
Yes. So we have 14-ish. We're going to see how many we actually can get that are the same, because I wonder how many we have that are similar.
I was going to say, so one key note is we don't know what the other one picked for a topic.
No. Nope. And I'm so ready. So do you want to start or do you want me to?
Let me start with a relatively mild one that I was surprised that this is even an issue. Ready?
Okay.
Okay. Does the color blue belong in Christmas?
Ooh. I'm going to say I don't think so.
I am going to say that as a witch, you must pass your hat forward, because blue, silver, those are all the Yule colors.
True, but you know why I say no?
Why?
Is
and
because...
don't try to justify it with some BS about Christmas, Yule, blah, blah, blah.
No. This is why I feel like people who are Jewish who have Hanukkah only get like blue and silver. So we have red and green and everything is red and green. They should at least have like some color that is just for Hanukkah. I think I'm saying that right. I hope so.
Yeah.
But that is why I don't think so.
Okay, so I didn't even know that was something like people debated. I can tell you there are very few things in this life I care about less than the color that you're associating with your Christmas tree, holiday celebrations of whatever kind of party you have between December 1st and January 1st. I don't even know people had a problem with using blue.
So it's only because I think that people who celebrate Hanukkah, Jewish people, get screwed out of so many colors during this like time of year. They should in fact get one that is just theirs. Okay. At least one or two that's just theirs. All right. You ready for my first one?
Yep. Hit me.
Super light. I believe that chocolate and orange are the superior Christmas flavors.
I think they're fucking disgusting. I don't know who hurt you. Because I did not, because I would have not introduced those two together. That is so bad. There's so many other delicious. I know, because you're a total freak. There's so many other delicious options to mix with orange or chocolate, but chocolate and orange, no meshing. No,
I love them. Those oranges you crack open.
I know.
My husband buys them for me.
Like
so many.
Oh my God.
I love them.
I can almost feel myself throwing up in my mouth.
You're
my turn, right?
Your turn.
Okay. So again, this one's pretty mild. Okay, so what's your take on mythical figures that bring presents besides Santa?
The only thing I've ever seen about this is like a Reddit post about how somebody thought that Doctor Who brought Christmas presents. And I thought that was so freaking wholesome. I don't care. I'm realizing it does not matter to me.
So having grown up in a foreign country, there's Stregonona,
Grandma Witch,
who brings them.
Yep.
There are other versions of Santa. So obviously I'm not talking about just so I'm counting Santa, Kris Kringle, Mrs. Claus or Mr. Claus, all those together.
Right.
So you could care less, it sounds like.
I don't think so. I don't think I care.
Like I said, I didn't even know that was a topic.
I don't know that at all.
Okay, so you're up.
I think, okay,
I thought of one while we're sitting here.
Oh, good. Did you write it down?
I did.
Good. I think people who don't like Christmas get an unfair bad rap. Because I feel like if you don't like Halloween, people are just like, oh, that's okay. If you don't like Valentine's, they're like, oh, that's weird. Okay. But if you don't like Christmas, like people are
Again,
mean.
people are like, who hurt you?
Yeah,
what
who hurt
happened to you? No, okay. So that one I agree with.
Yeah.
And I think that seems like a stupid thing to like delineate with people. Be like, you are my Christmas lovers. You are not.
That's a good
you
word.
are banished.
But no, I feel like they get an unfair bad rap.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
You do.
Okay, so here's one. Ready? Peppermint everything.
Okay.
I like the smell of peppermint. I like a lot of holiday things, but like what happens is come October 1st, right?
Pumpkin spice everything.
You start the pumpkin spice season.
It's true.
Peppermint spice starts 1 October or
31 November.
December. No.
I have to say, as somebody who like religiously purchases pumpkin spice lattes, because they're my favorite drink, I can only get them for 30 days. So as someone who loves those, I even agree there's too much stuff that's flavored like that.
So then do you feel the same way about peppermint?
About peppermint, yes. So here's the downside. My husband's favorite Christmas flavor is peppermint. So
as a side note to this, I have to say, I think people who talk about how candy canes are delicious are demented. Candy canes are not delicious.
I disagree. Gross. I really like candy canes.
They're peppermint, you weirdo.
I understand that, but they're like one of the only peppermint things I purchase.
Because
I really like them.
Just saying.
Oh, this one I feel like is kind of not really controversial among parents. But this one is the Amazon delivery guys and girls, whoever, or in between, whatever, I don't care, deserve some of the Christmas credit, not just Santa. Because
so not having a child in the Santa age and Amazon was not a thing.
Oh, that's true.
For me. I don't know that it's fair for me to weigh in on that one. But I think as a whole, people who are working full time during that time trying to do things to make your holiday
Amazon,
better. They deserve a lot of credit because it takes, I did work retail during the holiday season. It takes a lot of Christmas cheer to pretend to give a damn about your family's Christmas party.
I have to tell you also, I've also worked retail. I've worked retail Black Friday, all of that. I can tell you, I don't hate children until Black Friday.
Okay, so, but is it children or is it the way parents have allowed those children to act?
It's definitely the latter. All right, what's your next one?
Okay, so my next one is holiday sweaters. So,
I have one. So I want to hear what yours is.
Wait.
Okay, hold on.
My holiday sweater is, has the ugly sweater become so cliche that it doesn't even matter anymore? Now you expect that person to wear a hideous ass sweater to every family event in December.
So I think
now when I say that person, I'm 100% talking about production as he's sitting here, and I think he heard me because he looked over when I said it.
Also, I want to point out this is the ugly Christmas dress he had me wear for family photos last year. That's why I'm wearing it today. But okay.
To be fair, I'm wearing your Christmas sweater because I actually don't own enough Christmas sweaters to get us through the 4 sessions.
Actually, so do you want to hear mine that's actually totally related? Yeah. So I actually wrote, if you wear a normal outfit to an ugly Christmas sweater party, you're an asshole.
So I agree with that. Now, here's where I think there's a theory, right? Is you are going for this theme.
Yes.
Now, I think that they've gone so far beyond that I don't even know. But I agree with you because you showed up at this thing that's like coming to a Halloween costume party, not in costume, and being like, I'm just a regular person. You're a jackass.
And I have to say, if you're a chick that does that and you wear your this is my I don't know, if this is my very put together and beautiful looking outfit, I also don't like you.
Yeah, okay, so A, you're talking about me.
I am.
And B,
I don't like you. I'm not on the same page.
No, because I don't own it. I had to buy an ugly Christmas sweater. And even my ugly Christmas sweater is not that bad.
No, you'll wear a Christmas sweater. You'll wear the hat. I think if you...
I will do that.
I'll give you your exception. But if you are just a normal girl who showed up in a white sweater dress and heels and you're like, this is my outfit, you suck.
No, that's very different.
So I love that.
Okay.
I love that so much.
So here's my next one.
Here's your next one.
Okay. Ugly Christmas tree ornaments are just fucking ugly ornaments. They aren't pithy. They're not special. They don't make you unusual or unique. They are just ugly ass things. I say this because
I feel like you've been holding that in for a very long time.
Wait. So my Christmas tree and my ornaments are a huge thing. We talked about it before.
Yep.
And when I got together with my significant other now, he has a love for ugly ornaments. The uglier the ornament, the happier it makes him. So
I'll see if I can overlay some for this.
That I had these ugly, ugly ornaments. For me, they're not typical Christmas ornaments, but oh my God, they make him happy. And the uglier, the tackier, the chintzier they look, the more he loves them. Your husband is shaking his head. You're laughing. Do you know why? We saw ugly ornaments the other day and we almost bought you guys one. It was a fucking T-Rex with a wreath on its head and all the stuff. And I was like, oh my God, it's David's ornament. I mean,
it really is.
And we did not get it because, David gets to pick his own. But I just looked at that and I thought, oh, wow, that hideous ass thing is going to end up on my tree.
Oh, yeah. It also
not if I
is
don't
really
tell you where I found it.
It's also really unfortunate for you because you are the family tree. You are the owner of the family tree.
I have now the matriarch.
Yeah, you have the matriarch tree. So everybody's ugly thing ends up there is. And I hate this thing so much, but my husband and my brother take such great joy in hanging it up at the very front of the tree because I hate it so much. There is a giant pink Bratz star.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's gaudy. It's everything the 2000s were. And I hate it now as a grown person. And it's just forever going to live there.
But so, okay, I have to say, that's not, to me, that one is, because it wasn't, when you bought it, you weren't buying it ironically. You actually picked it because you loved
I thought the Bratz were the coolest. And
and your brother had an ugly SpongeBob SquarePants ornament.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing, right? Super hideous, but it's what he picked out at the time. I mean the ones that like you guys go and are like, where are the ugly ones?
So,
oh look, here's all the pretty decorations.
No.
You were part of it.
I'm not part of this. I just won't argue with my husband. I'm not willing to fight.
You are part of it.
All right.
Yeah, no.
Anyway,
next one. What's your next one?
Okay. This is the one I want to say because I think it's going to be super hot.
Okay.
I do not think Die Hard and Lethal Weapon are not Christmas movies.
So you think they are Christmas movies?
I think they are not.
You think they're not Christmas movies?
No.
Okay.
And I
think that is one of those hot takes that has become.
Is that on your list?
It is. But I think that's one of those hot takes that has also become so cliche. Does anybody care? Die Hard is still a really good movie.
It is.
So is Lethal Weapon. And I say this as somebody who struggles to sit through.
You can't sit through any movie except for like years. Christmas movies. But
not in years.
But I think especially if you're a guy and you're like Die Hard or Lethal Weapon is my favorite Christmas movie, you are unoriginal and a tool.
No, I agree with that part. Now, on the flip side, we say this with a huge amount of irony and hypocrisy because every Christmas we watch Die Hard. But part of that is because it's a good ass movie.
It's also for us like a tradition at this point. But yeah, I think if you're that guy who is like Die Hard is my favorite Christmas movie, you suck. Go find a Rudolph movie somewhere. Have a nice day. So speaking of movies.
Okay.
You have a good movie
I have another one.
Okay.
For all the lame ass jokes that go around on Facebook about, have you seen the ones where it's like, oh, my hat's off to the businessman who's about to lose a girl to a flannel wearing guy from a small town in every Hallmark Christmas movie.
Where are they at? I have that one. Yeah.
So what's yours? I would say this. My take on that is suck it. Okay. It is fun. They're stupid. They're predictable. We know that. It is always it's one of two things. She is either the super, driven girl who is going back home and has to check back into what really matters to her. And he's the little lumberjack that somehow affords this gigantic, gorgeous house in New England, which, whatever.
Or he's a baker in a small town, a theater teacher in touch with his emotions. He's got
in a bookstore. Yeah,
he's got a beard and just all the flannels in the world.
Right? And sometimes he has a kid, sometimes he doesn't. Or she just got fired or whatever, and now she's a lost little soul. But you know what?
She got fired and she has to go home. And she's a busy businesswoman who never thought to invest in her future if she was ever unemployed. So she must go home to her hometown of 12 people.
Some version of that, right? Okay, they're super cheesy. But you know what? We watch them.
So ironic.
They're super cheesy.
One of mine was Hallmark needs to stop making movies.
So it depends on what it is, because I happen to know that you're a hypocrite about this, because one of your all-time favorite Christmas movies is 100% a Hallmark movie.
Which movie?
on the second day of Christmas. It's a super cheesy one with Mark Ruffalo, right? Who's Incredible Hulk now. Mary Stuart Masterson. And it was made for TV like in 1997 or some crap, and you love it.
That does not count. It does not count. Okay. Hallmark did not produce that movie. ABC did, so it is different.
So that counts. What's your next one?
Christmas lists are ideal for all ages, not just children.
So concur. Because we keep a list, not just on Christmas, but for myself, I have all these lists. But one of the lists I keep is because my significant other likes to go in there and find stuff for my birthday.
That's how we did your birthday.
I know, but 100%. We had to tell you it was there because you were like, you guys don't just tell me. Oh, heck no. I got an Amazon list 24/7.
I love that. I think that people really lose out on that as they are older. They don't make these.
Nope, I disagree.
And it makes it super easy for like your out of town relatives.
I don't want to just give you money.
And I like,
because especially knowing everything I know now, you guys are going to use it to pay a bill, buy groceries, whatever.
That is one of my grandmother's rules. When she sends us birthday presents or birthday money
or holiday money,
you are not allowed to use it on something that is not for you to be selfish. Which I think is a great rule.
I have another one for you in the same theory of movies.
More movies?
I'm out of movies. This is my last one about movies or TVs. Okay, so it's actually about the TV specials.
I love the TV specials.
The old holiday. So this is my hot take. The old holiday TV specials are superior to any of the crap made now.
The claymation. Are you referring to the claymation
and all the old ones? Charlie Brown. The Charlie Brown Christmas. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas with the Little Mice. Which all that was it Rankin Bass,
something like that.
That's
from like
production
the 70s.
Set, yeah, and all the claymation. Frosty, the original Frosties, the original that is far superior than any of the crap that they're producing right now.
I agree with you 100%. So we've started watching a little bit of Christmas stuff, not a ton, but a little bit of Christmas stuff, and I refuse to let my child watch those until he's with you, so that you can see the first time he sees like the abominable snowman.
Well, and yours was the
a bumble.
Well, no, the Kris Kringle. Put one foot in front of the other.
Let me just say, Santa Claus is Coming to Town is what it's called. It is the best Christmas movie. I want to fight on this one.
I'm throwing that out there for singing just because in our last one, somebody made the comment about how we brought back their nostalgia childhood when we were singing another song.
Oh, the Schoolhouse Rock song back for Veterans Day pop quiz.
Right. So when you think about it, you have the one about put one foot in front of the other.
That's where he's talking to the penguin.
Yeah, so all of those. I know you love that.
That is my favorite one. I will die on that hill.
Now, wait. There's a sub to this just because you said this already.
Oh, no.
When it is not acceptable to watch a Christmas movie before Thanksgiving. Go.
Okay, so this is one that I have changed.
You're wrong.
I know you feel this way. I used to hardcore feel that it was completely unacceptable to do Christmas, anything like that before Thanksgiving. I will say I have shifted my opinion.
Since when?
Over the last couple of years. So it's been slow.
The last 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can pinpoint the exact thing that happened 5 years ago that ruined this. Production ruined this for me because I made that hard, fast rule not before the 1st of December. And I wish y'all could see the look of eyebrow that I just got from production.
I want to clarify, production does not make me do any of this.
No,
production was not like super into Christmas when we met. And I was like, hold my tinsel, and we just went.
My God, really? You are so cheesy and you don't even know it.
Ironically, one of mine was decorating early should be completely acceptable, and one of my points on it was because when did we start buying stuff for Halloween, Mom?
I own my hypocrisy for this.
I say so. This is why, because I started buying things for Halloween in July. That is when it starts releasing in stores. I start decorating in September.
Okay, so here's where I agree with you. Or don't. So I don't agree with you decorating for Halloween in September either.
No,
I decorate for autumn in September. Where I disagree is purchasing stuff is different. And I say that, but you just can't put it out.
Okay.
But that's what my other thing was going to be about Christmas, what I call Christmas creep. That shit starts, the first time you start seeing it is in like July.
Yes.
We started hearing the commercials probably mid-September.
Yes.
And I think that that's actually screwing up the holiday because they cram it for so long that when you start seeing them in the stores, you lose kind of some of that magical aspect of Christmas.
So I do agree with that. One of the things I do think that is now, especially as a mom for the first time during a holiday season, one thing that I do look at, and I can kind of see why moms do this, is you're cramming so much into like 4-ish weeks if you wait till after Thanksgiving. And some families have a lot going on.
It's okay to forego some. That would be one of my other hot takes. You don't have to do every single thing every year. You don't have to walk through all the lights at all the places every time you go. You don't have to have the hot chocolate in this one place because we had it here last year. You can pick and choose and do some. Now, if you want to do all 10,000 things in 4 weeks, so be it. But you only got 4 weeks, so you better time your shit well.
So I don't decorate early. I do. This is the only exception because we're filming in December. But
no, but you've been playing Christmas music since after Halloween.
Yes. The first time my son heard Christmas music was, in fact, November 1st. So
I definitely have that.
That one's on my list as well, is Christmas songs. This is
I have some of those.
Super spicy. I don't know if this is spicy for you, but it's spicy for some people. I think old Christmas songs are far superior with few exceptions.
So I have to say, where I would agree with, I have 2 or 3 more what I would call more popular recent ones, but a lot of those are super sarcastic. Yeah. And that's why I love them.
Redos of old ones.
Okay, so oops.
Because I know one of your hot takes.
Right, so wait, let me say this. So about a new one, there are 2, and I'll make you link them because I never have this part. Mm-hmm. One is by Royal Bliss.
Yes.
Which I love because I think it's actually a super romantic Christmas song.
I actually know which one you're talking about.
One I really like is by Bon Jovi.
Yes.
And then one of them, because I just learned about it, like last year, is by Dropkick Murphys. And my favorite line in the song is something to the effect of, because I've only heard it a couple times. Mm-hmm. If you think your family's crazy, come spend the holidays with mine.
I love that.
And the first time I heard that, I was like, well, that is just a fact right there.
It's very real. But
I think my all-time favorite holiday song is a super old song. Yes. That is probably its own hot take because it's about Jesus not believing that Mary is pregnant.
Not Joseph.
Joseph not believing that Mary is pregnant with God's son.
That is called the Cherry Tree Carol. Yep. It is a phenomenal song.
Not Christian, none of that. It is my favorite true Christmas carol because it's the only one where basically Joseph is like, what if I don't believe you?
There's a line in there that it's like,
so there's a couple versions.
But there's
you've heard 2 different versions of it.
There's one line I love in particular because I think it is actually the truest reaction that a guy could have where he's like, let the father gather cherries.
Mary asks Joseph to get her cherries because she's with child and she's hungry.
Yes.
And he says, let the father of the baby gather cherries for you.
Yes.
And ultimately, the way the song goes is that Jesus from the womb gets the cherry tree to bend down. That's the whole song. Yes. That's the premise of the song.
But I love that reaction. That's a real dude reaction.
I was like, I've met that guy. I know the guy who would say something like that.
Like, what? You're your baby daddy.
Yeah, because we all know I ain't your baby daddy.
I love that one so much.
So,
but yes,
I have one for you. Ready?
Okay. Oh, I don't like your face.
No, here you go. Ready? Hot take.
Okay.
So, and this just occurred to me. Mary was the first woman ever to be like, here's my husband, here's my baby daddy.
I love it. You're not wrong.
So that literally just hit me right now. Okay, moving on before we cause a problem.
Here's my other one is that some songs you just have to accept. This isn't on my list, but some songs you just have to accept for when they were written.
So I know what you're talking about.
Because I know you have a hot opinion on this.
So It's Cold Outside.
Baby, it's cold outside.
It's not a rapey song.
I agree. Because
I feel like it was written with the idea, and I'm not saying if you're going to tell me that that's how you were attacked and blah, blah, blah. I'm terribly sorry these things happened to you. Save yourself the comments. But
this was actually how women would like make excuses.
It's how they could make it an excuse because it was socially unacceptable for them to be like, I too enjoy sex. Let's fool around.
Right. There were no goth girls that had the high confidence.
And the higher sex drive.
High sex drive.
But I feel like that is one that they keep trying to make it into this hugely evil thing. And it's not. I absolutely think it's a society thing at the time.
I also think everybody felt like, oh, it's super not okay.
But if you
until
actually
Lady
listen to
Gaga and Joseph Gordon-Levitt
yes.
flipped it, sang it that way, and then
I love
everybody
that
was
one.
like, oh, feminist icon, which she is, but not for that reason.
But what I like about that is if you
Love
actually
it.
pay attention to the song, she finds all these excuses to stay.
Yeah.
She's like, with him, where she's like,
Yeah.
oh, I need to comb my hair. Okay, you are going out in the snow to catch a cab. Ain't nobody
Yeah.
got to comb your hair. So anyway, I agree with you that one.
I do love that one.
With the songs, I'm going to throw this out there. All I
Okay.
Want for Christmas from Mariah Carey, all I want all I want for Christmas is you by Mariah Carey.
Yes.
It gets overplayed, but it's actually a cute little pop song. Quit whining about it.
So I have to say, I have some like retail issue from when I worked in retail.
I get that part. That you will have that trauma fade over time because I used to have it too.
It is kind of like a version of trauma. The other one too is I wish I could remember the actual name of it, but it's like last Christmas I gave you my heart and the very next day you gave it away. That plays on retail all the time too. And I'm not far enough out of working in retail that I'm not traumatized by those two songs when I hear them in public.
Okay. So I think they're the cute pop songs and people are overreacting.
I have.
And you know what? To Mariah Carey, kudos to you. Because
she makes a joke of it now.
Well, no, all these years later, people are still bitching about it, but we're all playing it. So I hope she makes $1 every time it gets played.
Also, I'm just going to point out, I don't know if people realize that she posted a video the day after Christmas this year, which I thought was genius, where she was like the Wicked Witch for Halloween, and then it showed November 1st, and then she's like, it's time, and she started singing the song. Fun fact about Mariah Carey, she fits into that bodysuit from when she was 22 or whatever.
Kudos.
She's 40 something now, and she's worked for that body, and she may have paid a little bit for that body, but still.
Hey, here's what I'll say about that. I can fit in clothes that I wore when I was 22, but it's because when I was 22, I was pregnant with your brother. Just fun fact. Just saying.
Hey, no, this is like
I could wear the pregnant chick overalls that I wore then.
All right, you ready for my next one?
Okay, so yes.
Okay, so this is and this one I feel strongly even more now as a parent. Elf on the Shelf sucks and is only used to blackmail your child into behaving.
So I agree with you. As is the people who are like, I'm going to call Santa and tell Santa you're not acting right or blah, 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 blah. Hey, here's a fun fact. Why don't you, or a fun take on it. Why don't you take care of your kid 364 days a year and don't depend on an old man with a beard? Now, I say that as an old man with a beard currently has your son. But you know what I mean.
No, I think if you send me an Elf on the Shelf for my son, I will chuck it in the garbage. Don't bother. I think they are ridiculous. I think they put so much stress on your parents.
So I'm not going to lie. I absolutely love the Facebook post where it's like when dad is in charge of Elf on the Shelf.
And it's like a stripper.
And you see the stripper or you see the one with the Frozen and he's in an ice cube. That shit is funny to me. Do you know what you don't
see though is the explanation the next morning that mom has to give for why the Elf on the Shelf is throwing money at the Barbie doll.
Okay,
you don't see that.
For all you know, the dad has to do it. I don't know.
Okay, but you don't see that explanation the next day.
So I actually have told you the other one that's creepy with that is, if you're going to do Elf on a Shelf, are you willing to do Doll in the Hall? Also, so if you're going to have a Chucky doll or an Annabelle doll, let's be honest, you are fair about the same thing. You're like, nope,
I will not because I think they're creepy. Also, just as a general reminder, don't invite the Fae into your home, which is all you're doing when you have an elf in your house.
Okay, so I have changed my position on this next one. Are you ready?
I am.
Over my lifetime.
I'm sure.
Okay, so ready?
Oh my God. Yes.
Fake or real tree?
Ooh. Okay, so I'm not going to lie. I think a real tree looks beautiful and is wonderful and it smells amazing. And I kill everything I touch, like every plant I've ever touched. So I will not have one.
So basically you're saying we're just grateful your husband and baby are alive?
A little bit. It's, you know why? As you've always said, it's because they can make noise when they're
right.
A tree cannot do that.
So my other thing with the tree is that I feel like they're very expensive. They've gotten very, very expensive over the years.
And you kill a tree for 30
days.
You're
taking down the tree. Now, on the flip side, which is ironic because the pagans are the ones that decorated the tree. So I feel different if you decorate a tree outside, which I won't do either, but that has to do with the heathens that live in our area.
Oh, yeah,
and
they
the
wreck
snow.
our stuff.
That's a whole other thing. So now you ready for my next hot take?
I will say before you go to your next hot take, there is a company, I think there's one in the US. I know there's one in the UK where they actually dig up the roots of the tree and put it in like more or less a pot, and then they come back and replant it.
So there's one in the US too where you actually adopt the tree for like so many years you get to use it, and then they plant it,
hire it into like
and they plant it into a forest.
So if you're gonna go that way, I think that's fair if you want a real tree.
So my next hot take is tied to the decorating of the tree outside and everything else. Decorating before December 1st makes you a jackass.
We decorate the day after Thanksgiving.
But why?
Because I throw a fit.
Because of you. Yes, because if it was up to me, on occasion, I could get you to hold off till the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Not often.
But not in years have you let me go. I used to do it like we would decorate like the 15th of the month, sometimes the 10th. That was the earliest. And then you got to where you were like, I'm sorry, it's November 28th. Let's go.
Here's the best part. That started when I was in like middle school. This wasn't even in the last few years. Like,
that's true.
We moved here because we were previously overseas. And that started probably about the year we moved here, where I was like, are we not ready? Like, it's go time. Where are we at with this tree? And now it's a thing the day after, because we don't do Black Friday.
It's a celebration.
We now do it on Black Friday instead.
Okay, so you're up.
Okay, I've got some interesting ones.
They hit me.
These are all a little hotter, I think.
Okay, so I have some like that too.
We've got a pretty hot one here.
Okay.
So I think the holiday season is not just for people with kids. And I think, well, so here's the thing, especially where we live, because there's lots of people with kids. There's kind of this weird power dynamic where people with kids definitely think like, oh, well, can we just scooch in can we just cut in front of you so my kids can do XYZ, stuff like that. And I hate that.
So that is like the people who are like, if you're single or, if you're a childless couple, you shouldn't be able to go to Disneyland.
Same vibe.
Do you know what?
Same vibe.
If I'm a childless couple, I can afford to go to Disneyland. I'm saying that as the mother of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And
now spouses attached to a good half of those.
Now we have extras, right? And then that we're starting to have grandchildren. So as the person that has all of that,
absolutely not.
I am not going to expect you to let me cut in front of you with the one exception. I will have, this is my one exception. Hear me out.
Okay.
Public bathrooms. Because if I have a 3-year-old who is tap dancing and you are a 30-year-old woman who is not.
That one I think is that's
my one exception. Let this poor 3-year-old go pee.
Fair. That's my one exception.
Beyond that, no, I don't think you should have to do anything else because I have a child.
Nope. I've definitely, and I say that again now with someone like with a child, I do not think that the holiday season tree light up. There's a huge like church light up here that people like definitely fight and die for to get to the first day it's lit up. I do not think that if you have a kid, if you are the ones that are like, can we just like cut in front of you so all 17 of my kids can get grandkids, kids, nieces, nephews can get their skates so they can get on the ice first? No, teach your 17 grandchildren, nieces, nephews, kids, all of that to wait their turn. The other exception, I just realized this. The other exception I will say is that if you are taller than a child at like a tree lighting, then step a little to the side. Let them be able to see.
The other thing obviously is, so I think that's
common courtesy, you know, but
that's different. But can you do this so we can do this? No. So
I'm not giving up my hot cocoa. For all you know, it's spiked. And in the past, I've definitely left the house with it spiked. It's a good time.
No, she's not usually driving and it's not an open container in my car. If I get pulled over for this, I'm totally
to be fair,
throwing you under the bus. Although I'm not usually the one driving.
Also, I'm not usually the one driving.
I done screwed up my mic bad. Okay, I got it.
I also am not the one driving and it is not an open container, neither going there or coming back.
So ready for my next one?
Okay.
Black Friday is dumb. The only good thing so far that's come out of COVID is that it died. Ending of Black Friday, and I hope that it continues the way it's going.
Say it for the people in the back. Like that one's huge, and I think it is true.
Because I remember working retail, and then it wasn't as bad when I did it as when you did it. But I remember wanting to tell somebody, is paying $4 for a Barbie doll worth trampling my kid to death?
Which was
my kid had to be at work at 4:30 in the morning.
Yep.
The Friday after Thanksgiving in order to be open for Black Friday. And people were not letting you guys into your work because they were like, we're in line first. You're like, I appreciate that. I work here. If you don't let me in, I can't actually open.
I think I told you this when it happened. I went into work and a lady pushed me to the side so she could get into the store because she thought we were opening.
Right.
And we were not. I worked at like a normal, like,
that was a retailer.
It was a retail store. It was not like a Walmart. Toy store. It wasn't a toy store. This wasn't a Target, anywhere like that. It was actually
a clothing store.
It was a clothing store that also sold other stuff.
Which, by the way, let's be honest, are we anybody surprised you did retail at the clothing store? Saying.
I can tell you I did retail for the absolute shortest amount possible because it's a freaking nightmare.
All right, so focus. Your turn.
This is my other one. This one actually did not come about because of me. This is a hot take because of my husband. Santa gifts should not be expensive. Santa doesn't make iPads. Santa should not make robots. Like 100%. That one I did not believe in until my husband came into my life. And now I'm hardcore. Like, Santa should not be giving thousands of dollars worth of gifts. Let that be from mommy and daddy.
Okay, so I don't disagree with you, but it's also not your call. Because if it's somebody else, it is for your child. Kid. But I mean, if somebody else wants to do that for their child, you have no right to tell them that they're wrong for it.
Correct. I just think you really suck because frankly, when you have another kid in their class who does not make the same level of money, or because like where we live, there is a huge disparity. Yeah. So like where I went to high school, you had people who were making millions and people who were on like WIC and welfare because they couldn't work and didn't have another choice. And so that's where I went to high school, but there's also an elementary school in that district. Can you imagine a second grader
thinking they were a bad kid
because they got socks or because that's what their family
pants,
could afford,
sweatpants,
whatever.
Because you got clothes that you were needing,
stuff like that.
So, but that you can't dictate to other people.
I should be able to. I don't think if you
can't tell people, if you can tell people that they can't cut in front of you to get their ice skates for their 17 kids,
I agree.
Then you cannot tell them how to dictate the Santa gift giving in their home.
Okay, I think you're a dick if that's what you do.
That's up to you. Either one of those things make you a dick. I agree. Saying.
Yep, 100%.
Okay, so what's your next one?
I think it's your turn.
Okay,
I did Santa.
Here's my next one that always makes me smile.
Okay.
Hot take.
Okay.
Put the reason for the season, put Christ back in Christmas. It makes me sad because most scholars believe that Christ wasn't actually born in December based on the context clues in the Bible.
That's so funny that you say that one.
It is 100% a celebration of pagan things, and it's cool if you want to use it to celebrate the birth of Jesus.
Actually, one of my step-siblings, like his mom used to do a birthday cake for Jesus.
They actually still
Christmas.
do.
They just still do it.
Yes,
I love that
that's
so much.
What we heard. So if you want to put the Christ in Christmas, feel free.
Yes.
If you want to have Jesus as the reason for the season, feel free.
Just don't put it down my throat.
Guilt me into being like, that's not for me.
That's funny that you say that. One of mine is Christmas is a time to shut the fuck up about people's weight, politics, and religion.
That is interesting. Okay, so I don't disagree with you. But I actually feel that way about most family events, and Christmas tends to be a family event. So you should just shut up about those things at family events.
I think this is just where people hear it for a lot of different reasons. I think Thanksgiving's bad too, but November is when a lot of things happen. Well, true. But like November's when a lot of things happen politically. So a lot of people have opinions come Thanksgiving and Christmas, but holiday times like this it's time to just shut up. Like it's not about you. And also if you're that person at any holiday tradition that goes, "Ooh, Sally's getting a second plate. Wow, you suck. Let Sally get a second plate. She's hungry. It's probably the only meal she's eaten all day. Leave her alone."
Even if it's not, she wants it. Leave her alone. Okay, so then this is my next hot take. Ready?
Okay.
If you celebrate Christmas as a commercial event or a religious event or a combination thereof, everybody else needs to shut up.
I agree.
You celebrate your holiday the way you want. You want it to be the Americanized version of the Norman Rockefeller meal? Fine. You want it to be all about Jesus and your religious beliefs?
Isn't it Norman Rockwell?
Is it Rockefeller? Rockefeller's a millionaire. Yes.
Also, the Rockettes, right? Like the Kicky Girls?
The Kicky Girls are named after the Rockefeller Center. Where the big old Christmas tree is in New York one day, I will say. Hot take. This is a hot take for sure. I want to go see the tree. I realize it's a live tree.
In New York?
I do.
Oh,
I just want to see it. I don't want to actually be there for the ceremony. I just want to look at it.
I would love to go, but also that sounds absolutely horrible.
I'm sure it was terrible. And I don't like people, so I'm not really sure why I want to go see it.
Why would you go then?
But I do. It's like one of those things where probably Hallmark movies. I blame Hallmark movies. I bet you it's in there. Or Mary Higgins Clark books.
Definitely the Mary Higgins Clark book.
Because she always talks about New York and Rockefeller Center.
So I have to say, I do love that. I do think you're right. Like, let people celebrate however they're gonna celebrate.
Right. Are you happy, boo-boo? Then be there.
Right. My last one is that you should gift useful and long-term things. Now, this is hard because I am a crap gift giver. I love to give stuff to my husband that he will, like, that is intended to be used, but he never uses it. They sit in drawers. They sit in boxes. He's got a statue on his desk of a nose that he's never going to look at again.
So my favorite thing.
It's not like I just gave you a statue. It was for something.
Okay, so I think that as a gift giver, you got to just shut up and I give you what I want.
So that one's true, but I think you should, like, I think we should as a whole, as like a society, we should make a switch to giving things that'll be useful long term. So like,
which is handy that you feel that way, but I don't have to follow your gift giving rules.
You do not, but I think as a society, that's a shift we should make, because I think, like, if I gave my friend a sourdough starter, he'd lose his mind.
Wait, let me ask you a question.
Oh, no.
So if I buy you a book, to you, that is a long-term wonderful thing, thus up here, right? And that was what we talked about.
Accurate.
To your husband, he flinched.
Did you really?
No, I have no idea.
Probably did, though. Not even.
But I bought you books for your birthday, and I bet you he was like, does she need more books? And you were like, yes, she needs more books.
Always more books.
So I buy what I want to buy you. Now, wait.
I just thought of another hot take as you said that.
Wait. So I think that kind of, this one ties into, you shouldn't talk about anybody else's. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Yule.
Don't be weird.
I could care
Just take
less.
it. If they say Happy Hanukkah and you're not Jewish, just say thank you.
Same
Happy
to you.
holidays.
Oh my God, how hard is it to just be polite? Because it's not meant as a let's have a religious debate in the middle of a Walmart.
I've talked about this before with you, but I used to work at a very, very large bank, who I will not say the name of because they will sue me. But I used to work at this very large bank, and one of their rules was that during the holiday season, you are not supposed to say Merry Christmas because it is alienating to those who do not celebrate Christmas. And we were like, cool beans, whatever. That is as a very large bank, they're trying to avoid getting sued.
I don't
that
know
one
if
makes
this
sense.
has showed up on the camera or not, but allow me to fully roll my eyes for the ridiculousness of that statement.
I know. But that was a rule that they had.
Right.
So I was on the phone, and you were also not allowed to hang up on people unless they were a very specific set of inappropriate. And so this guy, I said, okay, thank you so much. I ended the call. I was trying to say thank you so much. Happy holidays. And this guy would not get off the phone. I sat on the phone call for another 5 minutes. Because he's like, I'm not hanging up till you say Merry Christmas
saying
back.
Merry Christmas.
No, he straight up said to me, I'm not hanging up until then.
I mean, I remember when you called me and said that, and you were like,
I sat on that call for an additional 5 minutes before I hung up and still got in trouble for hanging up. But I was so, like, by the end of it, I was just like, I'm not doing this because you can get into a lot of trouble. And I was just like, no, happy holidays. He's like, I'm not hanging up till you say Merry Christmas.
Okay, so tied to that then is my other one. People who complain about Xmas are just bitching.
That's just a nitpicky thing.
I mean, they don't really have a solid position. There's a million things where people have said, so here's the different excuses, that the X is actually a cross, that the X is actually some letter, I can't remember in what language, that is actually
all I can think of is that book you read us every year. Every year.
Right, the Santa Kid.
Every year there's this book, and we'll get into like holiday traditions specifically for Christmas in a couple of episodes.
Because we actually have a bunch.
So we have a ton of holiday traditions, but one of them very specifically is Santa Kid. It's by James Patterson, and every year you say the Xmas Express the exact same way. So anytime you say it, that's all I can think of, and I always think that you're just saying it incorrectly unless you say it in the voice that you use for the box.
Of Worry Ransom.
Yes, Xmas Express.
But I think that people who are complaining about Xmas are really just bitching.
I have another one I just thought of because we're just going now.
Yep.
So if you are giving something to friend, child, whatever, a friend's child, a niece, a nephew, please, if you don't have a Christmas list, that's fine. Ask what toys they play with. I see this float around on Facebook a lot where it's like...
Is that the mom text?
The crazy mom?
Yes.
Yes.
Where she's like, oh, you know what? She's not really into that, but
She's not
she
into
really
Barbie
is.
dolls, but
yeah,
she's
but she
really
likes
into her
this other
skateboard
thing
or whatever.
And the mom is like, I'm not buying her stuff for the skateboard.
Send me a picture of the Barbie doll.
No, which is fine, right? But understand, if you buy a Barbie doll, I'm going to end up giving it away.
Yep.
Or it's going to sit in a box until it rots because my kid does not enjoy those things.
So if you're going to ask that question of like, what do they like? A, mean it. And B, ask that question. Also ask if there's anything else. So like my kid, is this his first Christmas? Everybody has bought him toys. No one has bought him books as far as I know. Did you buy him books?
Have we met?
My bad.
Are you new?
My bad.
I've been buying the kid. I hate the book. The
My
kid,
bad.
even your husband does not believe you. So
like,
my
that's
grandchild has a bookshelf in my house.
Did you buy him books for,
Wait, let me
for Christmas
finish.
presents?
Yeah.
My bad. Didn't know
In
that. Found out
my
live on the air.
house, this child has his own bookshelf.
Yeah.
He can't sit still for a book. We've been buying him books from while he was still in utero.
Yep.
And did you really just say to me, did you buy him a book for Christmas?
I didn't think that through before I said it. I just want you to know.
Okay, so I want you to know the only thing that's stopping me from throwing this pillow across the room and hitting you in the face with it is I'm going to mess up your microphone. And then production is going to be like, oh, we have to stop because you messed up the microphone.
Good point.
Yes, I bought your child a book.
But that's what I mean. So congratulations
Again,
being
I
very
will.
unique. But I think if you're going to ask, at least ask and see what they're into. Try to do something that's
I
not
agree.
just like a toy that's going to be like just for a year.
And enjoy so I would disagree with the toy just for a year because
Sometimes.
especially with your child's age group, toys for a year are sometimes all you expect.
I mean,
Because
that's true.
that's their age. But I also think that you need to acknowledge the key about that was if you're gonna take the time to buy the present, buy something the kid enjoys.
Yes.
Years and years ago, for something for me, my mom's best friend had a necklace and a t-shirt and a hair clip and all the stuff that matched, and it was all in a teal blue.
That's so pretty.
And she had it all together, and she took it. She had it. She was about to pay for it. I think there was a scarf in there and everything.
Okay.
She's about to pay for it all, stopped and put it all back. Found the exact same things in all black. Because she said, in the
Love
end,
her.
I know what I want. What I liked about it was the whole look of it, but you're not going to wear it if it's in teal because that's not who you are.
She's correct.
She's absolutely correct.
Don't
And
buy
I
gifts.
actually have never, and I was a teenager when she did that. So I've never forgotten that because I really thought like she did. Your ugly sweaters, I think they're hideous. But let me tell you, I have bought some ugly ass sweaters and toys. And the
I won't
previous
get rid of 'em.
podcast, we talked about the cat vomiting tacos or whatever the hell he's doing, or vomiting rainbows and riding tacos, whatever it was.
Yep.
I'm buying those for your husband because they bring him joy. They're ugly as all fuck, but it makes him smile. So we'll buy
Yeah.
the tea. He's laughing right now.
He loves
We
these so
found the
much.
suit, and the only reason I didn't buy the suit is because you begged us not to buy the 3-piece suit
Okay.
that had like, I can't remember what was on it, tacos and kittens or
The
whatever.
reason I asked is because he doesn't wear a suit, but he started a whole thing at work and he hasn't worn any of the sweaters. I just pulled them out to do our recording. So he hasn't worn any of the sweaters yet to work, but I cannot wait for that hot mess to start.
So one of my favorite pictures you guys actually showed at your wedding about the life you guys had together is the dinosaur Christmas tree sweater, because
We're gonna
he
wear
is
that.
so happy and you are so over it in that particular picture. And
I'm
that was
so
the
over
first
it
year.
right now.
I think that was the first year you were together.
It was
second year.
It was, in fact, the second year we were together.
Because the first year you were together, you wore super cute. I have the picture of that too, the super cute sweater. And then the
Yes.
second year, because that was when you guys just barely met in your first 90 days or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
it was early.
So I
Yep.
would say that one makes me laugh.
You know what? I've thought of another one here.
Okay, we got time.
If you are the spouse that complains about matching sweaters, matching pajamas, family photos, you also suck. You are like the worst spouse, because here's why. Because if your wife, your husband, either one of them has come to you and said, I want us to wear matching whatever for Christmas Day, for Christmas Eve, for family photos, and you are that spouse, the other half, that's like, oh my God, I'm just going to complain the entire time. I'm not wearing that, blah, 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 blah. Then you suck.
I'm not your spouse. I'm your mom.
No, but if you're that spouse,
no, I'm
you
just
suck.
going to say I'm often the one that does that, but I usually participate.
I will say
So my
though,
last,
I hate it though. I hate those dads. It's usually dads. It's not a fair assumption, but a lot of the
I
time
was going to say
statistically,
not in your household now, because in
No.
your household now,
it's moms.
it is
It's the
yes,
moms.
it is,
It's us.
because the dads are like, when the ugly sweater thing came about, the dads in the family were like, "Oh my God, this is my time to shine," and I was like, "I want to cry."
I only do matching sweaters because he does matching costumes for Halloween, and he knows
Not
that.
true. That isn't true because nope, you can nod all you want. You're wrong because I have photos of difference. He also wears matching pajamas on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, let me be very, very clear. It's not just because he does one other matching thing.
Or you guys have whole outfits. Like last year, he was like wearing Christmas overalls with you while you were pregnant.
I tried to put those on to wear today, and they make me look pregnant, and I am not.
Because they're maternity pants.
But no, like if you are that spouse though, who's like, I refuse to match. I think it's stupid.
Oh,
you
no.
suck. I don't like you.
You can suck it up for at least one.
For at least photos, something.
So, okay. So I think that is all of our hot takes for this one.
Okay.
The only thing I will throw out there, just because we got some of these, I don't know where all yours came from. Some of mine were conversations. Some were obviously Facebook posts.
I think I got some
were
like
from
ideas
Reddit.
from Reddit and BuzzFeed.
On Reddit, I know there's a whole area subreddit where they talk about holiday hot takes and they talk about all these different things.
Yeah.
And so I know some of our ideas came from that. I'm going to hope that you hashtag some of these, but frankly, you suck at that. So what'll happen is you'll post it.
She does none of the editing, and then she texts me well into the night and is like, you didn't add this, you didn't add this.
So I want to throw out here that, yes, you made fun of me because you said I put you on one podcast and now you're the hashtag queen.
I literally texted you.
I know, but remember that when we did this, that was all part of your sales pitch.
It was.
You were like, you won't have to do anything, Mom. You just have to show up and talk, which you do really good.
Yeah, and then you just kept talking.
Really?
Text messages and like, you didn't hashtag this person.
Because you asked me.
I never have asked you to do that.
You did too?
I don't think so.
Oh, I know so. I probably still have the original text message.
We're not doing all that.
Okay, so either you can edit this or you can let me prove you wrong in the bottom because I will just put in comments photos of those.
You know what? I will.
Why don't you just edit it out?
Maybe I will. But no, overall, I love when we get these ones. I think these are way more fun to do. Some of the other ones have been
They're
fun.
serious. It's a little more pithy. It's a little more.
But I would love to do another round of hot takes in the new year for
New year, new me. I hate that.
Yeah, no, you
and other shit I hate. Is that what we're gonna call it?
Okay, so to be fair, you post a photo every year that says "New Year, same me," and I think it's hilarious.
I don't do it every year. I did it last year and I did it the year before that. New year, same me. But I usually do some. It depends on what it is. But I usually do some version of "It's Still Me in Black" or "Back in Black." I know was one.
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
But yeah, we'll have to see if you have. I mean, if there's other ideas for hot takes, I'm all for it.
Stoked to hear everybody else's hot takes in the comments because people got them. People feel some kind of way. This is the holidays. Everybody's ready. They're ready to drink and fisticuffs.
People are already ready to. Yeah, I was gonna say they're ready.
So I'm trying to
think of other hot takes.
Yeah, because I think these are so much fun.
So okay, here's my last one, just because it just hit me.
You said that 3 times.
I know because let me be clear. Not my last one. I'm saying this one just hit me. I can't even say it's my last one. This right here though is why your husband wanted us to do the podcast, is because we do this on the phone.
Oh my, yeah, 100%.
So holiday books cannot be read before the holiday.
My child has a Nutcracker book in his
I don't just mean that.
Right now.
I also mean the ones on Kindle Unlimited, all the free smut books. Well, free, but I mean, if you're part of Kindle,
smut books.
The smut books on there, because they've had holiday ones on there since October. They're like the 10 Little Elves or
That's another one we should do is hot takes on our reading because we're both avid readers. I think that'd be hilarious.
You have to answer me.
Here's the thing. I don't think you go looking for that. However, there are books that I read that the book I'm listening to right now just referenced Thanksgiving. Right. It's going to reference Christmas by the time I'm done with the book.
If your book is the whole year, I feel different. If it's the ones the ones that are specifically a Christmas book.
Yeah, probably not.
You have to wait until Christmas season to read them.
I don't mind doing those early. I kind of feel like it's along the same lines as listening to a little bit of Christmas music a little early.
Not early. You listen to a little bit early is no. Because you seriously, you are like the queen of October 31st is Halloween in my life, and I love everything about it. 12:01, 1 November. You're like, and it's Christmas time for 8 months.
But I don't start.
And then Halloween starts over.
It does. And okay, here's another one. I think the perfect movie to watch to transition from Halloween to Christmas is Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't think it's a Halloween movie.
That was the other hot take I heard, was The Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween movie. It's not a Christmas movie.
Bite me. That one's a Christmas
You
movie.
shouldn't be allowed to include it as Christmas movies. That was
Definitely
a hot take I
Christmas.
heard about.
Here's another one. I feel like
You're doing it now too.
I know. Can't stop thinking of them. As part of the movie ones, I think the first Harry Potter movie is a Christmas movie for no reason. I have no evidence or reason to back that up except for the fact, like, I think that is just
it
like
maybe because you got the book for Christmas and then the movie came out?
it's that probably sounds related. It seems related.
I'm guessing.
That's another hot take I got. I think
if you were making fun of me.
I was, and now I can't. But here's my other one I really think is important. If you have a kid, you should be gifting them a book a season. Used to give me, this is hardcore, you used to give me a series every Christmas.
I did. So that is actually okay. I have one. I have another one for you. Ready?
Okay.
I can't remember which country. I want to say it's Denmark, but I can't remember what country does it. Americans need to adopt that. Buy a book for a holiday, and everybody just go read and shut the fuck up.
Absolutely. Is it Denmark or Sweden?
I can't remember. But whoever does that is brilliant. You don't have to do it on December 20th.
Something.
You don't have to do it on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, or you could do it random Sunday in December.
It's like called something. I wish I could remember what it was.
I think that as Americans, I don't know how we skipped over that because we robbed so many of our traditions from other parts of the world.
We really should have that one.
How do we skip that one?
I got another one.
I want that one back.
I think that one's fair. My other one is there should be no reason that you travel on Christmas Day. I know that one.
So we concur. I concur with that because I don't.
I do. So we spend, again, we'll get into this deeper.
You all 3 blocks.
I know, but I don't think you should not expect family to travel an unholy amount of time, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours for
Christmas.
Mean on
Christmas Day itself or the holiday itself.
I mean, Christmas Day or Christmas Eve for that
traveling
matter.
ahead and being there for it is fine.
That's different. But I think day of, unless there's a specific cultural reason, because I do have friends who, I didn't know this until very recently. One of my friends who is Mexican American, they actually do Christmas Eve is their big, like, open the presents, do the whole thing for her side of the family. And then the other side of the family, who is just a bunch of potato people the same way we are, they do it all Christmas Day.
Right.
So they're the only people that I know that travel consistently because they do Christmas Eve with her family and Christmas Day with his.
Here's my hot take based on that.
What?
Celebrate when it works for you. Shut up. Everybody else should shut up about, I don't know how you have Christmas not on Christmas. If you're the child of a divorce, if you're the child of a military family, if you're a child of all these other things,
doesn't work.
You just got to have it when you can be together, and that's way more important than December 25th. Hello.
I absolutely agree. I'm trying to, like, these are just
so we are, I was going to say, but we are kind of running on time.
We're running low.
Oh, yeah, we are. But we're according to my clock here. We are actually it's my grandchild clock here. We have like a short amount of time left before we're way over, so I think you have to close us out.
I will in just 1 second. I had one more and then you robbed me of it with that whole thing.
I'm sure it'll come back to you, or you can put it in the comments. Or if there's another one people think they want to do, they need to put those in the comments.
Here's my next one. I got it. I do remember. As out of town family, grandparents, great grandparents, nieces, nephews, uncles, whoever, respect the nap time of the baby on Christmas Day. Respect the nap time
because we spoiled you with the sleep schedule.
Look, respect it, because it's kind of like in this aspect, it's like Disneyland. You want to, as a parent, you kind of want to keep them awake so they can spend as much time with. In our case, it'll be like your mom, my grandmother, my son's great grandmother. We want him to be awake so that he can hang out with her as much as possible, but also that dude's going to need to sleep or he'll be a terror.
With that, my final, because we have to be done now because we're already way long, is as a parent, you just have to accept that I'm going to feed your kid crappy food.
Yeah, but you kind of get a pass because you guys only do it during the holidays.
No, my point is, as parents, you have to understand grandparents lose their shit during Christmas, and you just have to accept.
The logical part of your brain just goes away.
Hot take is, as a parent, your job, smile and nod.
I have to say, your logical brain
Especially
goes
if I respect nap time,
out.
you got to let me have cookies for breakfast.
All right.
I'll give enough time if it's in this house. We have brownies for breakfast.
On that note, go watch Practical Magic. It's not a holiday movie, but you should watch it all the same. It's a good movie. Well, that's a lot of hot takes. We had a lot more opinions that we...
Shocking. We have opinions.
Way more than I thought. We also had more different ones than I thought. But I cannot wait to get into the next couple of weeks over the next few holiday recordings. It's going to be so much fun. I think next week we're doing hot meals. Hot takes this week, hot meals next week. With that, go ahead and become part of the Pink Chair Mafia. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, all the things, and drop your hot takes because I gotta know.
Or if you have more we want to ask about. If you have any more that you want us to look at and see what we think, because, God knows we got opinions.
Yeah, if you send us any hot takes for any holidays, because we'll just combine them and use them for next time we do this, because I'm going to do this again in the new year.
I know.
This is so great. All right, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.